I mean, we've been to like 5-6 places by now.
Yeah,
The universe is not very kind to us this morning.
it's very kind to us because of what's coming after.
Oh, that's true, probably, yeah. I guess the things are sweeter when we go through some struggles first, right?
Yeah, and also if you don't have it yet, that means the universe is preparing something better, you know?
Maybe, that's right. Yes, wise man. Wise little man.
When I bumped into Tibor at the hostel, he was in the midst of discovering his birthplace, Budapest. He shared with me his story about how he used to be a chubby kid immersed in video games day and night. Eventually, dropping out of school, found his new identity, starting to working out, reading books, and living a healthier life. Tibor wanted to pursue a career in copywriting, and remarkably, he succeeded. He was exuded enthusiasm, spontaneity, and an extra dose of spirituality. This is the tale of Hungarian-Germany boy, a school dropout, and a Gen Zers navigating the wonder of the world.
So the only reason my mom birthed me in Budapest
Yeah.
was because at that time she was brand new to Germany,
Okay.
and she had no insurance there.
Oh,
Meanwhile, she was already working there with my father at a restaurant. It was a Hungarian restaurant.
okay.
And she became pregnant and thought, you know what, I'll just catch the next train or a car, drive to Budapest and birth this kid
Okay.
instead of paying the,
Money.
yeah, the money for the huge money for for the cost to the hospital in Germany. So yeah,
When was it? 2000,
2002.
2002.
Yeah, January.
January. Right. Fun story.
Yeah,
So where's the hospital?
straight.
Okay, keep walking, keep walking.
So it says it in on the internet. It has turned into an how's it called when you house old people,
Home.
like old people home, and they take care of the old people there.
So can you introduce a little bit?
that
So, this film, okay, show me.
So I think this was all the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it says idősek otthona. That means just home for old people,
Okay.
like old people's home.
So why do you want to visit this place so bad?
Because I was born here.
Okay.
I've never been in Budapest really most of my life. Because my parents moved to Germany right after that. And this is my first time being consciously in Budapest.
Okay.
And I was born exactly here. This is a place where my body sort of was, I don't know, pulled into existence. Even though it was existing before that, theoretically, you know? But like this is the place where I cried for the first time, I guess.
And how does that make you feel coming here? Yeah?
I feel calm, just like everywhere else. Just like everywhere else on the market, but except I don't know. I wonder if this was also the hospital. It used to be. Yeah. It's right next to a church, I think.
What it says?
It says Ship Medei, that's the name,
Mm.
and Korhaz means hospital.
Okay. So this is the place.
Yeah, except it's not a hospital anymore, it's closed. Look, but this is probably the door that my mom entered and left.
Okay.
What?
And someone put a flower here.
Yeah.
Maybe someone just like you who visited here.
Maybe. Maybe my lost brother.
Yeah. Do you have siblings?
Yeah.
What siblings do you have?
I have one sister
Okay.
from the same father
Okay.
and one brother from another father.
So your mom divorced? Parents divorced,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so and who do you live with?
My mom always. It was
Okay.
always my mom.
Okay.
Yeah. My dad went away and he started just like working, doing his own stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, when I grew up, my mom said like, "Oh, your father's bad and everything. He's bad."
Mm.
And there was some years actually where we didn't even know where he is. If he's like some years no contact at all.
Really?
But just recently, like I'm 21 now, and just like last year, I started to get to know my father alone, like by himself for who he is, without what my mom said about him. I started to like distance myself from my mom, because my mom was really like had a strong influence on me. Like whatever she said, it would be like sort of like a rule in my head. So I think that's just the parents, the way you're upbringing. I think that's still like just the child inside of you that takes for granted what your parents say, and then at some point you just have to like sort of kill your parents in your mind, so that you become your own like adults.
And how does that make you feel now?
Really nice. I'm so happy I didn't listen to my mom.
What did you say?
She said I should stay in school. She said I shouldn't drop out, and my father too, actually, and many people. But I dropped out, and it was like the first time I just take like my own responsibility and like my own decision. It was really hard. Like my mom's relationship to me became like toxic. Like she became really very, very like really ugly.
Okay.
But it was the rebirth to a new relationship. After that, after dropping out of school, like at 18, she actually helped me find a job and find me an apartment, because she couldn't bear having me in the same apartment as her, maybe, for whatever reason though.
Okay.
But maybe it was also love and accepting of her, you know, like acceptance that, oh, my son wants to move, wants to do this, so.
Letting go is a hard job for parents.
Definitely, yeah.
So can you introduce yourself a little bit?
My name's Tibor, I'm 21 years old. I am a Hungarian-born guy, but my parents like instantly moved to Germany after that. And I've been raised in Germany, Leipzig, my whole life. And this is the first time like I've come here to Budapest this week. What day is it today? Sunday? I came here Tuesday, so a few days ago. And this is the first time I'm consciously in my hometown, birth town.
Your father is also Hungarian?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about a bit of your family.
So, my family are just regular people, and they are like I feel like they're judgmental. I feel like, but that's in many families, like parents, I feel, are very much. So what's most important to me right now in relationship to my family, what I like think about it the most all the time now, is that it's so important to be able to know what your family wants for you and what you want. Because when you grow up, you are a child and you are so much under the influence of your parents, like, this is right, this is good, they're giving you things and telling you things, they're telling, when you do this, I'm proud, when you do this, it's very good, and they're giving you this incentive, which comes, you know, like planting something in you. And that's why I feel like my parents have been this, I feel like this little bit of judgment on things. I don't know if it's just my family. There are certainly more open families, but I feel like that's just so important to know.
Okay.
Otherwise, my mom was always a housewife. And she was always at home with us, and she let me do whatever I wanted, actually. in the same way that she told me, okay, go to school, do your thing, get good grades, as long as that's okay, you're good. And I was home and played video games all my life. And like every free moment of my whole life, I got everything I wanted, every console, every video game, every whatever. My mom really wanted to give me everything that she never had, because she really had a terrible childhood, of which even I don't know all about, because she doesn't talk about it.
Tell me about it.
She was, her mom left her actually as a child, her own mom, and she was raised therefore by her grandma. And her grandma was very abusive towards her, and it was like almost like she told me a story that once she woke up, she was greeted with something like, go clean something, you ugly, whatever, ugly, like insert very terrible swear word. And my mom told me she had moments where she looked into the mirror and she was like crying because of how ugly she found herself, and how like her existence, like she felt so, I don't know, I guess she hated herself because of that. She thought she's only there to be hated, you know, and didn't know what. I know that she was multiple times, like she maybe even wanted to kill herself at some times because of that. It was like that bad. And then I remember that she told me that she would simply try to escape and just go anywhere without anyone, and just have some friends that would maybe take care of her, let her live at their place in exchange for her helping in the household and cleaning and cooking or whatever. And yeah.
How old was she when she got pregnant?
20.
Okay.
My father was 30 at that time. My mom was 20. And my father, when they met, my father was on the way from a part of Serbia. So my father actually lives in Serbia, but it's a part of Serbia that used to be Hungary before 1921. So after 1921, his father, my grandpa, and his ancestors, they were all Hungarians, but they became Serbians. So they got the Serbian citizenship, and therefore my father is technically a Serbian. But yeah, I don't know how they met, but my mom was definitely Hungarian. My father was going from Serbia to Germany to work in a restaurant, and somehow he took her with him.
Okay. So your father worked as a waiter in Germany?
No, my father was a cook.
Okay. And is he still working as a chef?
No,
What does he do?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, no problem. And your mom, what does he do now?
Actually, I can say what my father does.
Okay.
So my father does illuminated advertisements for stores. So like the logo for Consum or like Aldi or Lidl, like those illuminated advertisements is what they're called. Those physical boxes with LEDs inside of them, and then it's like some plexi or like yeah, that's what he does.
What about your stepfather? I assume that you lived with your stepfather for a while. What's your relationship with your stepfather?
My stepfather. So my stepfather was so funny. So my mom, I think I was like 12 when my mom started like dating random people and like some webcam online platform like Messenger, MSN, you know, that was the time. And I think it was like her way of dating. And because she could do it from home, and you know, she would put on some nice makeup and then just like have those profiles on those. And there was one guy from Tunisia who she met online, and I remember like seeing that guy for the first time. He had like long hair, he had like a brown skin Tunisian guy, Arab guy, and he was smiling all the time and greeting me real nicely. And they couldn't communicate well actually, because my mom didn't speak English. He spoke broken English, and my mom was Hungarian. So Hungarian English has no relation at all to the Tunisian guy. But somehow they still communicate. Somehow maybe they use Google Translate, or maybe communication is also lots of communication is also like looks and get gestures and smiling, or you know, like showing something.
Yeah.
So I guess they got to know each other. My mom actually learned some Arabic
Okay.
because of him.
Yeah.
And not much later, I don't know, I can't remember that time. A lot of my childhood is like swished. It's like very, I have no like relation points to which I can refer moments back to, because I've been playing video games in every, like most every moment of my life. I love video games. It was like my passion. I'm a gamer like so much. And I just went to school because I had to. It was nice. I had some friends at school. It was all good. But video games was my number one. I was just happy to come back home and play video games.
Even now?
Less. The fun is not there anymore. Not that much. Like I feel sometimes a little bit of waste. But it's still fun when you do it at the right times.
Okay.
Some other things are like maybe not as fun, but more important, and that makes them better, even if they're not fun.
Where are your mom and your stepfather now?
So they got to know each other shortly after that webcam. I don't know how many years or months after that was, but my mom went to Tunisia, married him, and brought him back to Germany.
Okay.
And then we had a brief time where he was living with us, and she was like 2 years, I remember. And then there was like some discrepancies and like and he actually didn't like me for some reason. Maybe because I was just playing video games all day and he was trying to be a father and like say who and what I'm supposed to do. But my mom wouldn't let that. She would be like very just let him do and let him be and love him. But he was more like coming maybe a little bit from the outside and trying to be a man, be a father, and actually he would probably also do it out of love and try to change me because I was actually overweight. My mom like let me do whatever, so I was overweight. I played video games most of my life. I was insecure really. I had like long hair. I didn't care about style at all, and I probably also stank a little bit because I didn't care about my hygiene. And he, I don't know, maybe it was that conflict. I'm not sure actually. My mom didn't tell me, but there was one moment when my mom, I heard my mom call my real father at that time. I was with him, spending a weekend with him, and my mom called him and cried and said it was something like she stood in front of a decision to decide for him, like my stepfather, or for me, and she decided for me, and that's like, I don't know, it was painful for her. And I find it really interesting that you're asking this question, because I'm like just like seeing these parts of my mom, being aware of this. And it was like, she even said like, there's no decision to be made here. Like, of course, my son. And then that was like terrible for him. Poor guy. Maybe he just tried to be a good guy and good father, but he didn't know how to do that, how to be that in an assertive way, in a positive, assertive way. So he started drinking and he started going out at night, not coming back, and then they just totally divorced. And my mom helped him find a job, find an apartment, and he lived like a few stops close by. But my parents, they didn't have that much of a relationship, but my mom has a good relationship with everyone. Like she doesn't help or hold toxic relationships. Like she might hate you one day, but next day if you come to her and ask her, like, it's just are nice, and maybe you're, I don't know, she would cook for you. She would invite you home and she would say, "I will come drink," or like, come here. She's a supportive person. Yeah.
And they had children together?
Yeah. My brother, he was born in 2012. His name is Ibrahim.
2000 what?
Ibrahim. 2012. Ibrahim. And I love him. I love him the most.
What about the sister from the other side? Do you have a closer relationship with her as well?
I sadly don't have a close relationship with her because of the way when we were raised. My mom told me I hated my sister, and I remember that I hated her because she was almost like 2 years younger than me, and it was probably that she suddenly received all the attention and not me, and that has probably awoken some instinct of being inferior, or something is lacking. And I remember that I started like hitting my sister, my poor little sister. I started just like hitting her for that reason that she's there. Like, it's kind of evil, but it stems from like this fear. I'm so sorry about that.
Right.
But that has impacted our relationship until now. We couldn't really open up until now. We say hello, we're nice to each other and everything, but there is not much interest for each other on both sides, I feel like.
What kind of influence your father and your mother have on you?
Well, my mom really let me do whatever I wanted, and my father was not there. He was not really present. But my mom would let me do whatever I wanted.
Okay.
And it came to a point where I just loved it. I could do what I wanted. She would cook, I could be home, she wouldn't tell me what to do, I can play video games, I can go anywhere, I can actually sleep at friends' places anytime, and she would say, it's okay, just go. Do have your freedom. Because her motto is something like, if the child wants to do it and the parents don't allow it, the child will do it anyway. So she was like, at least be honest and tell me, and so that I know that you're doing, and then you go. So that it was like very much like letting the kid go free, free.
Interesting, because as what you described, her background and everything, and I wondered what made her become a parent like that.
Oh, because she didn't have that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it seems clear that. Yeah, it seems near to me that that's why, because she didn't have all that, and she wanted to be a good parent and give all that.
Okay. What are your feelings towards your parents now?
Oh, I'm more distant now than ever before, but in a good way. So, I told you that my mom let me go free and everything, so it was nice. But there came a moment where I had to change, and I had to become like. I had different plans than her. She wanted me to study, she wanted me to go that way, and it's safe, but I became like sort of suddenly crazy, and I said I want to drop out of school, and it would be so much better than if I studied psychology, because studying psychology takes so many years, so much time, and I want to actually try to become self-employed. And I told her that one day I will make $2,000 a month. And she told me, who are you to say that? Who do you think you are? Like, you can do that or whatever. And that hurt me. That's like, what the fuck? Why do you say that? But yeah, I guess like I just had different plans.
Okay. And your father, what's the feeling?
My father, I didn't care about my father's opinion, and because he was never really there, he didn't have much to say, and I think he knows that too. So he doesn't have a strong influence. But still, he knows that. I think he knows he messed up too, and that he can't grab that influence in me because he wasn't there.
Are they ambitious for you? Are they ambitious for you?
What?
Your parents, are they ambitious for you?
My father's ambitious. My mom is ambitious is an interesting word. No, my mom is actually the total opposite of ambitious. She wouldn't plan anything. She wouldn't want anything besides this moment, and she would tell me that she's grateful for the food that she has, and for even if they're poor. Like even if there were times where she didn't have much money, she would like cook well and try to find the best recipes with what's available, and that will make her happy.
Okay. No, my question was, your parents, are they ambitious for you? Do they have a high expectation of you? Yes.
Okay. I told my mom who I wanted to be. Like I told my mom I want to make lots of money, but when I told her that and she told me that, who do you think you are to be able to do that, I stopped telling her what I want. And there's so many more beautiful, for me, ambitious things that I want to do, but she doesn't know. So I think she doesn't hold anything expectation-wise towards me, because I didn't tell her what I want. And that just makes her like non-expective, maybe. My father tells me I'm smart, I'm intelligent, and I think he told me once that I'll make lots of money. Not that that's a word for, that's a schedule for, that's like a for success, like a guideline for success, but I think he told me that I'll make it. I'll make my dreams come true.
Okay. Right.
Okay, right away to the family part. It's so interesting to hear that, and I just want to make sure to point out that whatever I say is not the truth.
Okay.
I can't say the whole truth. I don't know the whole truth.
Of course.
So what I say is also just like part of everything, and both of my parents love me so much, and I love them too.
Okay.
Even though there is this moment where I have to become adult and separate myself so much so that they feel like they're losing me.
Okay.
But that's necessary, and in that moment the relationship becomes hard, but that's so necessary because they have to learn to let me go, and I had to learn to let them go to become myself.
Okay.
So that's what happened recently, and yeah. So since then, it's more like I've told my mom not to tell me what to do and what to be, and that's like suddenly like sort of like my boundary with her now.
Okay.
So it's recently established, and with both my parents, and yeah, that's how it continues now. So that's yeah.
What are your ambitions?
I feel a bit shy about saying it, but deep down, I think I will become a worldwide known person.
Okay.
And I will become the best man in the world, and I will be Spider-Man, and I will have such a wildly colorful life, and beautiful things that I'm doing, and inspirational life, and I'll write books, and I will make movies, and be such a beautiful person, like such a beautiful person, not outside but like from the inside way of being. And because of that inside way of being, that is what I want. Because of that, I believe all the other things will come true on the outside. I think this is a center. So I want to be wealthy because I don't want to worry about money, man. I don't want to. And I will have so much money, and I will make really good things with that money. I will be probably millionaire, maybe billionaire, and have like really nice things and really good opportunities, and make the world have like so beautiful things, like foundations, not foundations. How is it called? It's called nonprofits. Multiple nonprofits, and opportunities for people to connect with everything that it brings. So connection is just a word now. You know, I say I want to connect people, but that brings so much more opportunity. Like that's so much cases where how that can happen. So yeah.
What does success mean to you?
I actually don't know. So
Do you have to realize everything that you just said to be having a successful life, or no?
Yeah.
Everything that you just said.
I think that would be successful for me because that's what I want. And what does success mean? I think success means to resolve something, to finish something. In its Greek root, it means to finish or resolve.
What does successful life mean to you?
Successful life means to
You personally.
I don't know. I don't think of terms of successful.
Okay, that's good then. Okay.
Because thinking in terms of successful brings up the other side of success, which is failure, and that makes you miserable. I don't want to open the door of successful or not. I just want to be here and face my fears. And in the moments where there's like big hesitation in me and I overcome that, that makes me feel the happiest. That's successful to me when that inner fear is like met. I meet that inner fear with like I look it in the eyes and I go with it and I go against it and like maybe even with it. You know, going against it is going with it, and that is success, the true success.
You know, according to what you say about your ambition, you're probably the most ambitious person in my documentary. You know, you topped everyone with your
Okay.
ambition. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What are your obstacles in your life right now?
Oh, myself, of course. So I have these beautiful ambitions, but they come to light sometimes in the distance of weeks or months. And within those times, I am having really normal everyday problems. I'm afraid to talk to people. I'm afraid to open up to some girl I'm interested in and open my heart towards her. Or I'm afraid to call a client because of something I need to say, or I'm afraid to look stupid, and I'm afraid to speak up sometimes. And I don't want to. I'm afraid to make myself vulnerable. So in the sense that I'm especially noticing with girls, man, because being interested in someone, it's like I'm showing you that you have sort of like a power over me because I find you so attractive. So you're attracting me, and I don't want to give anyone that power. I feel like drawn, even though it's so normal. I am attracted, of course, but I'm afraid what happens if I'm attracted, because then I'm gonna let go. I'm not in control, and anything might happen. I might fall. But other than that, I'm not as productive, not as quick as I'd like to be. So for example, I'm a freelancer, but I am just satisfied with the least amount of money that I need. And that's all I'm aiming for. So that's the life I live. So I have, I'm a freelancer, I can work from anywhere I want, but still I have put myself in like stupid moments because of this way of living, that I only need the minimum and I need nothing more than that. If I cover this, I can finally let go of work and just like, do like, yeah, it's just that. So I'm playing like a small game, even if I don't have to. I'm playing a smaller game than I need to, because I'm comfortable. I think this is the most comfortable I am.
But you're a very ambitious person. You want to be globally known, and you want to make billions, trillions, like billions of money. So what's the plan for that?
I think it will unfold. And even though I'm here right now at 21, having these very almost very small problems in my eyes, but still they are normal problems, and they're really something just a step on the way there. So in the end, I'm still doing good for the problems that I'm facing. It's still really good.
So both your parents, do they own properties?
No. Oh yes, actually, my father, yes.
But not your mom?
No.
What?
But she will probably inherit her mom's.
Okay.
Because it's a house in Hungary, and she has one other sister, actually. Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
So, would you consider yourself a middle class?
Oh yeah, definitely a middle class.
And I think you believe in a class mobility.
That's possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, how would it not be possible?
Have you personally experienced some sort of like class difference growing up?
No, because in my school there were everyone was sort of the same. There was no something like rich kid or so everyone lived in house. Everyone was many foreigners actually, and many immigrants, past immigrants, and their children were the first ones to go to that school and to be in Germany. So yeah, not really.
How come you are from a guy who plays video 24/7 and was big, overweight, unhygienic, long hairs, and become like you now? What happened? What's the journey like?
So I love playing video games until it was time to choose what you want to do after school. So after grade 10, you have to decide you want to do your A-levels, which is the grade 11 and 12, with which you can study. Or you start working and do an apprenticeship. It's called apprenticeship, right? For 3 years or something. The apprenticeship usually takes 2 to 3 years. And I was there in 9th grade and it started like pulling me, like, what the fuck am I going to do? What's going to happen then? I don't want to work. I don't want to change schools because that would mean I have to meet new people. And I was very introverted. Did I say that? That would have to mean my whole day would change. I would have another way to school. Things will change. Simply that. So that like this fear started rising up, but I started like pushing that fear away with playing more and like just keeping on playing games. Until it was like one moment I just came home and I was like, things are gonna happen. What's gonna change? What am I gonna do? It has to happen. And it was like a huge resistance in me, like, why is my life so bad? Why does it have to be this way? And I was like really miserable because of that. Like very, very fear, a lot of fear, very much trying to resist, holding on to the past, holding on to what is and not wanting to change. It was simply like a huge fear of change, I think. And then out of that, I think it was a pressure that caused this moment. It was like a moment where I started crying and like my tears broke out. I broke out and it was just simply a stress. I was alone in my room. It was just going on internally. And the stress became so overbearing that it was either you die or you live. And it was not that I was suicidal, but I was in that moment, I thought about it in that sense, like it would be an option. That's an option I can take, or this one. And I still think I wouldn't have killed myself, but in that moment it just arose, you know. But yeah, I don't remember exactly a moment, but the realization finally came. I think it was that day or the next day, or it was the day when I cried this stress cry. It was like, your life can be beautiful. Your life can actually be beautiful. And I look at myself, okay, you are 15 now, or 16. You're overweight, and okay, but what if you can start doing sports? What if you can start exercising like once or twice a week? And that would probably get rid of some of your fat. It will make you feel better. What if I start to pay more attention to my foods? I would probably lose some weight and feel better too. What if I limit my video games by like from 8 hours a day to maybe 2? What if I go out a little bit more and have a little bit more fun and like try to meet people and be more open and social? And it was just like this little change in everything that made me see, okay, a few years down the line, a few months down the line, things could look like really, really good and fun. Fun too. These things are also fun. They're just different funs. And I saw a picture of myself at 24. As it's just like a 24-year-old me. And that guy was like super good looking. He was super well dressed. He had super good energy. And he was like such a cool idol. Like I actually imagined just an idol version of myself. And I thought, yeah, somehow the 24-year-old guy just popped up. Maybe because I thought in that time it's realistic for some reason. And that version popped up, and this guy was so beautiful, and so positive, and so engaging and outgoing, and really just positive, like shining light, shining like the sun. This guy, and it was so really just so beautiful. So the crying about how beautiful this picture is. This
cried
image is.
again.
Yeah, it went from like a stress cry, and then I cried to like that positive cry, I guess. And that moment, that's the moment that changed my whole life. It is that thing, that image.
And can you talk about a bit of transition, because it's quite an amazing story how you from that to now, like, you know, apparently you're good looking man and lots of energies, and you know, going through, I don't know, very inspiring and doing lots of stuff. So tell me about the journey.
So this moment came, and the transition when it was not instant. It was gradually coming. My hair was cut a few months before that, a few years. So that came before a little bit because I felt insecure. I felt like I was like people confused me with a girl, and and I was so ashamed of that I cut my hair. So that's the first thing. And the second thing was like that moment came, but the next day I found myself playing video games again. So I thought, okay, things are maybe changing slowly, but okay. I still felt like a different feeling though. And and I started paying more attention to social like in other people. So I started reading books. And to like learn, and out of that arose like a deep interest for what's truly important. Because this moment, like this change, this shift was so big that I became aware of what is it that is truly important in life. Like when you are a human being who's alive, what is the most important areas, things to be aware of, to think of, to pay attention to. And that's how I became like actually really interested in psychology, because I realized like that moment, wow, it is all in you. It is all really here. Heaven, hell, dark, light, blue, green, yellow, black. It's all here. And I started to read about psychology and become interested in what people think is truth. What is the truth? Is there a God? Who made the world? Why are we here? And I came into read. I had this true, like, extremely open mind about anything that will bring me closer to that truth of what is. But in the sense, what makes me happy? Like, what do I want? What's the best thing? What is the most important? In that sense, what is, you know? I don't care about theoretical, useless philosophy. I want to know what makes me feel good and act well and be the man I want to be. So I started reading about psychology. My first book I picked up was a book by Joe Navarro called Reading Humans, or Understanding Human. He's an FBI agent who has been specialized in analyzing people's body language to know whether they're lying or telling the truth. And I found it so interesting. Actually, one of the reasons why I wanted to read that book was I wanted to know if my crush was interested in me, and that got me into like psychology and what people, maybe even the people, are not aware of, but I could know about them. I could find out. I can know. About psychology and like the deep what's behind the person. And that was my first book, and that opened my eyes towards psychology and having a sensibility. I became like sensitive in social situations, and I started seeing that, oh, this person's uncomfortable, and oh, this person is like putting up a facade or maybe playing, and I could start seeing that the way people behave, I knew how that person felt because I saw that I saw myself, my own behavior in that person. Sort of.
Okay. So did you find out how to analyze your crush if he's interested in you?
Yeah. So there's like clues and signs, and even though my like this understanding of other people's body language is often covered up by your own fears and nervousness and worry. In that moment, you can't really read it that well. But if you're neutral and you're very observative, then you can really find out. You can really see and feel, and yeah, you just become sensitive to the situation because you're empty.
What else What else did you read?
So yeah, so that was psychology. I got started in psychology, understanding. I also read about and listened to near-death experiences, and a kid who almost died and started talking about what he saw while he was dead, and talking about God and drug experiences too, like mushrooms, DMT. Coincidentally, many people on DMT talk about similar experiences, and I was like 16 at the time, and I thought 100% for sure this is a common truth, this is a point of truth that is pointing towards something, drug experiences, especially on DMT. But I have told anyone else, and even teachers, even adults, I would tell them, what do you think is drugs do? They would say, oh, it's just bullshit, it's nothing. So they're still like I had this opinion, it's must be, of course, something pointing towards the truth. But still people just like don't take it, like don't realize it, don't see it.
Have you tried it?
No. I've tried LSD for 4 times, and every time I did it I learned something, like something great. And I learned to become more introvert. I was very, very extrovert, very outgoing, very making myself busy all the time, very much, oh, I'm impatient, oh, let me just take out my phone and scroll Instagram, oh, I don't feel bad, I don't feel good in this situation, let me go, so let me do something, let me make myself busy so I don't have to confront myself with what I'm feeling right now, so I don't have to feel that. I think that's extroversion, like you're always busy, making busy and doing things instead of sitting with whatever's feeling in you right now. And that's what I learned. After that experience on LSD, I was silent for 2 days just to feel this innerness. And that's, I call this the start of my introversion and start of my more inner journey. And funny enough, this has happened just last year.
Right. Now,